Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Good, good. Hey, World Cup's over.
Yeah?
MLS is back.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, hey, we just thought we'd do an episode on the eve of the Union kicking off tomorrow against Red Bull New York. And I don't know, I guess we'll just talk about a little Union 2 and the match.
Yeah, there's definitely been no news lately.
No, there hasn't.
Sarcasm. No,
We got a lot to talk about.
yeah, there's
And
there's plenty to talk about.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna obviously those of you listening again, thank you for following us, subscribing, reading our articles, interacting with Jillian. I know she has put out some good stuff lately
Thank you.
in terms of content. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Kai Wagner. I mean,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about John Shear's comments, and then Ryan Richter's interview as interim head coach yesterday ahead of the match. So. Before we get started, what are we wearing today?
I'm wearing one of my new kits. I have San Diego Wave on. It's my first NWSL jersey purchase. Got it at Soccer Post at the tent sale a little while ago. I always liked this jersey. I'm glad I waited till it went on sale though. So
Are you claiming San Diego FC as your NWSL team?
I am for now because I like their kits. It's really shallow of me, but then you get that, Kyle, considering half the teams you like, probably more than half the teams you like, are because you like their kits as a kid, their jerseys and stuff. Why are you a Dolphins fan? You like their jerseys and Dan
And Dan
Marino.
Marino,
Yeah. Why'd you like Calgary Flames? Their jerseys.
Diane McDonald.
Yeah, but
Why did I like the San Francisco Giants? JT Snow. Why did I like the Timberwolves? Christian Laettner. Okay, they're half of my teams.
so you're no different than like the people that like Miami because Messi. I went there.
You did, and then you came back, and I
It's
am
okay.
wearing,
Hey, I followed Hearts because of Stu Finley, so yeah,
and also an awesome kit.
it is an awesome kit.
Also, I'm wearing the Jamaican Federation.
Yeah, another Soccer Post purchase.
Before we get started, where can people find us at?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. We have our YouTube channel, The One Team We Agree On. Find us on socials at TOTWAG on Twitter and Instagram. We are on Facebook as well, The One Team We Agree On. And we're on Blue Sky as well. And I'm at silly double underscore Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm also on TikTok at Jillian underscore Almany. And you are on Instagram and not much though. And Twitter at Coach Almany and Blue Sky. Yeah.
Do you want to take the first topic?
All right. Yeah. So, Kai Wagner is back. And like, who'd have thought that was happening, you know? So shall I say?
Yeah.
Okay. I had heard I had heard rumblings that
Right.
there was interest in bringing him back.
That's all we're going to say on that. There was interest.
Yeah.
Kai said that, I guess it was right before John was officially hired, they've
Yeah.
had contact. Things progressed,
Hmm.
and that was that. And that's all we're going to leave it at.
Yeah, and the thing is, for me, I was surprised because he was doing so well at Birmingham,
Yeah, I mean,
fitting in well there.
one
But
goal, three assists in
yeah,
18 matches.
so he was doing really well. And again, the union really did right by him by allowing him to go, for the right opportunity there. And but credit to Kai, it's what's best for his family at this point. They wanted to come back. And hey, Union, glad to have him back, of course. And he definitely has a chance to bring that leadership that they definitely need. Maybe can help be a force to turn things around.
Yeah, I mean, contract through 2029, option for 2030. I don't know anything. I figure the club probably pick that up depending
Hmm.
on what everything is. Will be a DP. Um, Tom Bogert, a couple other people reported it's around $4 million. Um, Philadelphia acquired the top spot in the waiver order for $100,000, 2026 GAM to Sporting SKC in exchange for a 2026 international rush spot and 22nd pick in the waiver order. People are like, well, why is that? Well, that's how MLS works. Player leaves,
Hmm.
you got to then trade back, or there's some weird complications, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Kai's back,
Yeah, that's
and
huge.
and John Shear talked about they wanted a left
A
footed
left-footed left back.
back that could create. And look, we're going to talk about Dingo in a little bit,
Hmm.
but I mean, he brought back what the club lost. So
Yeah, I think he was one of the most glaring losses um, with this season. I really with the
I
losses
mean,
that
how
they
many
had.
times have a whole bunch of us in our circle have said, you know what they're missing? They're missing Kai Wagner,
Yeah.
and that's the reality situation. I think you want to fix this problem first and foremost. Now you got Frankie Westfield. Now you got Nathan Harriel.
Hmm.
Um, and you got Kai. You got so much flexibility on both the outside backs.
Hmm. I'm thinking about, yeah, the crosses that Kai and Frankie can provide, and Cavan can do that as well. Like there's
And we'll get to Quinn,
yeah,
but I mean
and
Quinn's
Quinn.
coming back.
Yeah.
Now you have playmakers. Now, are we saying the Union are gonna make a run? We're not, but
There's hope.
there is.
And there's at least something to get excited about. There's something for fans to say, "Oh, hey, there's a chance." There's something to get excited about.
So you, me, and Todd Lewis were there.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaways from the interview with Kai?
Yeah. So first of all, he was clear. He made clear that, yeah, everyone in Birmingham was great. He,
Yeah.
enjoyed the experience. The fans were great. Playing at that level was great. The organization, all that. He wanted to make that quite clear. And, but that this move was the best for his family, and also he feels that he can, definitely bring something in terms of leadership to the team. And, he said that he watched all the games. He was really into it, and it was
Except for one.
except for one. They had a game the
Because they
next day.
gave him
Yeah,
next
yeah.
day, yeah.
Of course, with that time difference. But no, I mean, he was very involved in it, and clearly Philly is home to him. Obviously he came from Germany, and that's home too. But they've made living in New Jersey and in the Philly area, like, that's home for them. You see what, like, their neighborhood means to them and what it means to their kids and all that. So, you got to respect that. That's where they're happy, and can't blame them for that.
Yeah, and you've seen the videos on Instagram. I
Yeah.
mean, like everybody's coming back and everybody's so happy. And
Mhm.
it's the German community. Everybody, you know, if you've ever been to Germany,
I haven't. I want to go.
but that is the community. Like not all over the place, but what I'm saying is it's culture. Everybody cares for everybody in
Mhm.
some places. But anywho, um, any other takeaways?
Well, you know, I think he's gonna play tomorrow. First of all, he said that I don't know anything for sure, but I feel like it's a strong possibility. He said he's fit, basically. He's been training.
Well, yeah,
So,
he had 3 weeks at Birmingham.
yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in, we'll put it that way.
Right.
He definitely, I think, wants to play. So,
So let's talk about a couple things.
yeah.
He talked about the journey with John contacting him, right?
Yeah.
One of the comments that really stood out to me, and this is one I want to play, is the comment. You're gonna love this in Google Photos. Kai Wagner returns, but I want to play this one.
Really good. Like we started right away when John called me, and like me and Ryan were in contact like during the whole process, like during probably it was, I don't know how long it was, probably over 6 weeks now and all this stuff. And and yeah, like we are really honest to each other. We always liked each other. When he was the assistant coach here, Ray too, we also got like sometimes in fights because he also is a guy who is like to be loud and like tries to go like into players like sometimes. But now like just how he came to me and said like how we want to play this morning, we sat together already and showed me just like a little bit new the playing style and stuff like this, because a little bit changed from last year. But like I said, I don't think I have to be that guy who like brings everything new to the team because the team knows what they can do, what they're capable of, and I just want to give them a little bit more belief and help everybody, and hopefully we can step out on the field and win games again.
Yeah, I like that. And I found it interesting too about his relationship with Ryan Richter. Like, I think basically they can be a little intense like towards each other,
Well,
like not in a bad way.
no, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's iron sharpening iron. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like
I know.
two
Yeah.
guys just, hey, this is how it's gonna be. No, this is how it's gonna be. And like Ryan's talked about
Yeah.
it with
He's
us,
he
and he,
holds his players accountable to like
yeah.
he yeah. So, but yeah, I think he is from everything I've seen, he has really good relationships with the players.
Mhm.
He's definitely good at that. So,
Um, and then after, well, before Kai came available,
mhm.
we had John Shear.
Yeah.
That was a little surprised. Did not expect John to come
Yeah.
walk out. Obviously, we've been covering Union Tube when John was head of the academy and
Yep.
development, and for the second team, we've talked to John,
Yeah.
but see him come out there, greet all of us, and then we talked about the Kai signing. And there's one comment again I want to share and get our. And if you're listening, guys, sorry for the clips here, but let's go into it.
Like we, as much as we want to develop players, development is a tool for us to try and win, and I think we've talked about getting that balance right. And for Kai, knowing that our intention is to try to win and compete for trophies and championships and silverware and MLS, I think this is something that speaks to him. But also the fact that he's connected to this city is something that was really powerful for us. Is that it really hurt him seeing us struggle the first half of the season, and he wanted to come back and try to help us get back to again where we belong.
Do you like how the plane was going over?
That's a constant battle. Like every time I'm out there interviewing somebody, there are planes and a lot also trains. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Great movie, by the way. But no,
It
like,
is. But anyway, no, I mean it's just a joke. You and I are already talking like it's either wind, planes, or trains.
yep.
But having said that, I mean, I asked him. I said, John,
Hmm.
when Kai was talking to Sage the day
Hmm.
before when they made the announcement,
Yeah.
he's like, the message John sold me on was X. So I was sitting there listening to all these questions, going, well, what John say? And would you say, John, what did you say to Kai to convince him? And
Hmm.
and I mean, it's what he said to us many times.
Hmm.
Like that's their motto, and they're not going to deviate. Now they won't win.
Yeah.
Development first, but at the end of the day, first team they got to win.
Yeah. They do. I mean, that's what's gonna get fans in the stands. That's,
Exactly.
gonna help build, um this brand basically. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have a good balance of having, winning and having players strong enough to do that while also developing the future too. And you see, like, someone like Kai can bring such leadership, that he could be such a good mentor to someone like Jordan Griffin, who, has been playing up with the first team at training quite a bit lately. So, I would love, I'd love that, said that there could be mentorship there.
But also, where does that block his pathway? That's a fair
Hmm.
question
Hmm. Yeah.
because you got Frankie, you got Nate, both can play on the left side.
Hmm.
Does that block his pathway?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
We'll find out.
yeah,
It's a fair question.
it is. And Jordan's, 17, so
I
there's some
mean, you
time.
still
But
got time,
yeah,
but
but still, yeah, I get it.
all right.
Yeah. So,
Um, anything else you take away from the presser with John?
well, of course, he was asked about Makanya.
Do you want to talk about McConaughey?
Well, what we're talking about, John
Sure,
Shearer.
let's
Yeah.
I mean, he said he's on leave for personal reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So,
then the whole pipe bomb came out
yeah.
from Bogert saying,
There's teams interested in, like
that the
Rangers.
Union have turned down
Yeah.
the offers. McConaughey's upset. He feels that, he was made a promise
Yeah.
basically by Tanner and Carnell,
Yeah. Like Jose brought up that good point of like, well, perhaps he was promised stuff from people that aren't there anymore, and
which My last coaching gig in college swimming, I had girls coming in their locker room at the end of the season going, "Hey, I was promised by the former head coach that I'd have a scholarship after my freshman year." I'm like, "Sorry."
Yeah.
That it Look, it's business. Like I'm going through it right now with my job. There's organizational changes, right?
Yeah.
You were promised something, then things change.
Yeah.
Like it's really disappointing.
Yeah, and then of course Ryan Richter was asked about in his press conference as well, and it reiterated the same thing. They've been talking to McConaughey every day, but he's not with the team right now. So,
And then, do you want to talk about the landing page
and well, every time I would go on the union's website, every single time, um, an ad, pop up would come up with
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 McConaughey?
McConaughey like celebrating
Yeah,
after that awesome goal he had last
yeah.
year. Well, that's not popping up anymore.
Not reading into that
Yeah.
because that's something we do. We don't do
No,
speculation.
because it could just be they're at a point where they don't need to show that ad anymore, too.
And
I
then
just thought
and
I
then
just
you
noticed that.
had the social media like
Oh,
post
the let us reintroduce ourselves kind of
themselves,
thing.
and McConaughey's not there, and people are like, "Well, they could use another clip. He's still on the roster."
For what it's worth, Sal's not on it either.
Yeah, there. Yeah,
The same. I mean,
I mean, again, people are looking way too much into this. Like, sure, maybe he's going to Rangers. Maybe he's going to Belgium. There was interest in the Bundesliga earlier
mhm,
in the year.
yeah.
The fact of the matter remains, he's not with the team right now.
And John Shear confirmed also that Neil's back.
And
So,
Neil's
I
back.
mean, we've seen him back and
And
all that, but
regardless,
yeah.
the thing I take away from that is A, Neil's designation is no longer on loan.
Yeah, exactly. Neil's back.
Two, John says, regardless of McConaughey or not,
Yeah.
Neil's in their plans moving forward.
Yep. And rightly so. He
Yeah,
he killed it at
yeah.
Wingby. Like,
So
so
he
much growth.
proved himself.
Hmm.
But again, like whether or not McConaughey's in their plans, club's moving forward.
Yeah.
And I think we all should as well.
Hmm.
And we'll see how this plays out. Maybe McConaughey comes back, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
Um, and Dinga.
Yeah, so there's reports of him possibly going on loan to Dundee, I think it was. And
Was it Dundee or Dundee
I
United?
know, like
I think it was Dundee United.
maybe. I know, and that gets confusing with the two of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is a possibility. I think honestly a loan would be good for him, but he does need to develop more. I think I've noticed some improvement from him.
Especially on the right side.
Yeah. Saw him playing on the right side in the friendly when we got moved indoors when it was raining, when it was against Revolution. And you had Giovanni Sequeira and Dinga on the
Mhm.
right side. And that's a that was an aggressive right side.
That was.
Yeah.
That was, but again, if they continue to develop
But
and
yeah,
grow, like that's a really aggressive.
it was an interest. It was fun to watch that. Not gonna lie.
It is. I mean, there's the excitement, and then there's the whoa. Okay, that did not work.
Yeah, yeah. So that was interesting. But yeah, I think that he definitely could use that development if he gets to play, somewhere else and get that experience. It's gonna be much better than him just sitting on the bench at with the first team because he's not going down and playing with Union too.
No,
And
and number one, he's too good for Union two.
yeah,
Number two, the Scottish Premier League, we've seen some players go over
yeah,
there and develop,
yeah,
and it's I won't say it's comparable, but I mean the top. I mean, obviously you have Celtic and you have Rangers
yeah.
and you have Hearts, but hey, I
I don't
mean
know if it's the same club that Richard Odado went to.
it was,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause I know he went to. It was either Dundee or Dundee United.
I think it's Dundee United.
But yeah, Richard Odado, who only ever
And
appeared in that one friendly.
and by the way, their stadiums are right next door to each other.
Yeah, it's so wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
PSG and Paris FC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. Jillian, let's talk a little Union too.
Yeah. So Union 2 played on Saturday at
Mhm.
Columbus Crew 2 at their stadium. And it was interesting to say the least because they were delayed slightly at the beginning because of the weather. And so the game finally comes on, and there's no like score bug. Like there's no time on there. There's no commentator, anything. It's just the video,
Right.
with whatever sounds are like on the field. And so it didn't start broadcasting right away. Like the timing was off because like what they were putting on for like the feed of like the events
Mhm.
was not matching up then with the clock later on.
Hmm.
So anyway, we saw a little bit of action. Eddie made a shot that got saved, and then it's like, oh, they're going into a weather delay. So about like 20 some minutes in, they go on a weather delay. They end up being delayed for 2 hours. And this was after like they'd had a couple times where like, oh, we're gonna start up at this time. And then nope, we're not. And so yeah. So after about 2 hours though, they finally resume play. And that's gotta mess with them a bit, having to warm up multiple times and just sitting around and you know, it's who knows what the facility is like for them, where they're having to hang out and all that
Yeah.
too. So I mean it's not ideal anyway. So
No,
yeah.
and if we talk to Chris this week, I'd like to hear his thoughts on
Yeah.
that situation. I know you were talking to some people about that, but
Yeah. So Union 2 though, they lose 2-0. They actually looked like the more dangerous side for a lot of it, and they had chances. They outshot Crew 2 as well. And you had Andrew Rick in goal,
mhm,
and the last time he was in goal for Union 2 was actually against Crew 2 as well back in May. And
yeah,
that was a 1-1 draw that went to a shootout that Rick made 2 saves in, but unfortunately Crew 2's keeper made 3 saves. So that they lost that. But you did have Tyler Gladstone in the starting lineup as
mhm,
well. So those were the two changes, him and Andrew Rick. And then it was, the rest were pretty typical.
mhm.
I know Chris Harmon's been going with Mateus DePaulo on right
Yeah.
back. And so he was in there. So um, you had, yeah, there's just like there were technical difficulties. It was just a weird game. But
It
the,
was. I
you
was
know,
watching a little bit of it and just
Yeah, but Union 2 were getting their chances. Eddie had some chances. Malik Jakubovic, he had several chances. He had one that hit the right post, like the near
right.
post. I thought he was going to score there. There was one where he was just sitting at the far post. Eddie could have maybe passed to him, who knows? But there was, several of them had headers that were on target. It was just they just could not get the ball in the goal. And unfortunately, they make a mistake, and quickly get punished for it. And then they gave up a late goal at the end when they're really pushing for the equalizer. They had a chance there. And so but yeah, then the second goal and then basically it's over. So um again, it's disappointing because they were in that match and you got to understand for those of you who don't follow Union 2 so much, Crew 2 is in first place, okay?
And they were in last place last year.
They were dead last year. And that's the way it goes in Next Pro a lot because they go in cycles.
Yeah.
Like Union 2 was really good the last couple of years because they had like CJ Olney and they had, Marcus Anderson. They had Cavan and so on and so forth. So they had a lot of these, guys and then they move on or move up, and whatnot. So, these things go in cycles. And so Union 2 has a lot of young guys that have a lot of promise. There's some guys that have been around as well. So it's just how it goes sometimes.
It does. And that's what I'm really not worried about because right now, like, they're going through that ebbs and flows. There's a lot of good talent coming up.
There really is.
They just need more time to develop.
Yeah, and a bright spot was Mateo Gallegos. He made his pro
Yeah.
debut. So we had another academy player making his pro debut. He plays with the U18s and yeah, he was one of their regular players in their season and part of that squad that won the Dallas Cup and so on. So good for Mateo. He had one appearance last year with Union 2, last season. It was
Mhm.
just he was on the bench. He didn't play, but it was in the Eastern Conference final. So, but I'd seen him at training and he played in the one friendly. So, good for Mateo. And you see a lot of these guys really doing well. I do see a lot of talent on Union 2, and it just each game mostly has been pretty close, except for that one Red Bull one. But so, I mean, you got like a lot to be excited for. I think, Tyler Gladstone's been pretty good when he's been on the field.
Paula.
I was about to say, Mateus DePaula, he's been like a
Would say
standout.
Jordan's still there. I would
Yeah.
say even Timo. Timo's really
Timo
good.
Mendoza, he's been really stepping up. I actually wrote a bit about him recently.
He's actually been looking solid as of late. I
Yeah.
don't know where he is. Again, it could be another Andrew Craig where
Yeah.
he's always been a really good player, but maybe it's not his time.
Yeah. So, But yeah, Timo Mendoza definitely. I asked actually Chris Harmon about him at training last week, so I wrote up a bit about him and John Rafu. John wasn't in the squad this time, but you
He's
know,
still got time to develop.
yeah, some of these guys like they're definitely worth watching, and they've been good with the academy. So, yeah, we'll see how they continue moving forward. And some of these strikers, these guys got to get scoring though. They do get streaky. Eddie has the hat trick, and then they haven't scored since that game. And I think Malik Jakupovic is long overdue for some goals. And so, but that's the problem. Like well, now they have a negative goal differential, but they they're one of the best defenses in in their conference. Some of the fewest amount of goals given up, but they
Best
also
score.
at least they're one of the bottom for goals scored as well. So
Yeah,
if they can get the scoring going, that'd be huge because their defense has been great. I thought Rafael Uzcategui, he and Finn Sundstrom did a really good job, in defense there. Mateus and Jordan are holding it down on their ends. So I've seen a lot of growth from Finn too. And he got like banged up at the one point, but he continued,
got kicked in the
got kicked in the like got cleat to like the face.
yeah,
But yeah, it's
which was called flopping apparently.
yes, I yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently the ref called it a flop.
All right.
But yeah,
Anyway, so you were down Chester yesterday
yes.
for
So
training. Talk
yes.
about training first. Just observations.
Yeah, so and I didn't see a ton of training yesterday. They were kind of wrapping up a bit, but some of them were shooting around, guys like Frankie and Kevin and a bunch of those guys were shooting. And, vibes are good. I saw Kai there shooting. So, again, vibes are good. They seem to be, definitely ready. And it just I feel like they're just like looser, maybe like I don't know how to describe it.
Maybe it's a little bit more bought in.
Yeah. Well, and when we talked to Nate Harriel, which I think were you going to share any of that?
Yeah, I'm sure a couple
Yeah,
things.
because Nate Harriel talked a bit about it. I talked to Andrew Rick yesterday as well. So um
Yeah, and
yeah,
those
we had some good
comments are in the Twitter and
yeah.
on Instagram too.
Yeah, I have a whole article on there about I interviewed Andrew Rick. There's the video about his experience being with the U.S. men's national team at the World Cup as a training keeper. So got to hear about his experience and also just about him being back with Union and kind of how they're all feeling and heading into Red Bull and everything.
So I got some comments from Richter.
Yeah.
First one I want to talk about is somebody asked about, just, getting back to tactics after Carnell has left. What was the first message? And I want to share this because I thought this
Mhm.
is very powerful. From a coaching standpoint, I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go back
Yeah,
here.
I was at Richter's press conference yesterday
Yeah.
there at Subaru Park as well.
Yeah. So this is about the message.
Yeah, we came in and the first message was not about uh, the tactics, the way that we want to attack, the way that we want to. The first message was what culture do we want? How do we train and how do we play in a competitive way? And what is our mentality and mindset? And how do we implement standards every day that hold us to that? And that's been, for me, the thing that I'm most happy about is the way that the group responded to this. You then add a player like Kai into that mix, who not only something on the field, but his mentality, the way he approaches every day, raises the level in that. And I'm really proud of the way that the guys responded to this because, yeah, this is, if you don't have this team spirit and this passion, when that gets lost, it's really hard, and you can feel that energy. I could feel that energy in the stands the first half of the season once this fighting spirit was lost. So it was getting that back in first of like 10 guys in the field fighting together, 11 guys, including the goalkeeper, fighting together in everything they can do to win and fighting in the right way and being competitive in all moments. So that was the first focus when we came in and we started back in training is getting this culture of excellence, this culture of the competition, the culture of high standards, of getting that part right first.
You want to take that?
Yeah, I really I like that response.
This is something that haven't covered Ryan now for what?
Well, it's been over a year.
Yeah, over a year and a half, probably.
Yeah.
Um, this is what he's all about. When
Oh
I
yeah.
talked to him last January, like this is one of the first messages he talked about was culture.
Yeah.
They want to win.
Yeah.
He's all about winning.
Oh,
Trust
he
me.
definitely wants to win, and the players have said
Ryan's
as
one
well.
of the
Yeah.
most competitive people I
Yeah.
know. Having said that, this is kind of thing you want to talk about. It's not about X's and O's. It's not about what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's about people. It's about culture, and it's about how do we get that part right before we do the other things.
Yeah. I definitely have seen that with him with Union too. And also I appreciate he gives very good responses to these things. He has very thoughtful responses. And I yeah, I think culture's a huge part of that. And I think that's why you saw Union 2 do well last year. So not that I mean they did well obviously the year before, but I think that
I
Ryan came
would
in.
say they did well even this year with the transition before
Yeah.
Ryan
They
kind of
have that
moved on.
culture established, you know.
Yeah,
It's been kind of seamless. You know, the players have said as much too.
it
You
has.
know,
Um, Having said that, obviously, this is a tall task. Seven
it is.
points.
No one expects Ryan Richter to go in there and work miracles necessarily for them.
But if he does, I
But
mean, Jim Curtin said three
but
years ago, this is the next MLS coach in waiting in the media camp.
that being said, yeah, I think that Ryan brings a lot of great qualities to this team, and I think that
The players will
it'll
relate to him
yes.
for the most part. If you don't want to get pushed, you're not going to like him.
Hmm.
And honestly, he's going to challenge players. He's not, like I said, he's not afraid to challenge players to try to get them to be their best.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
important. It's not about, oh, we want to win. It's like, you need to be your best.
Yeah.
And the other thing, so you asked him about, your question. Want to take it?
Yeah,
Load it?
the one about the opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, so I asked Ryan what, you know,
Hold on.
Someone who
All
I
right,
mean,
grew
you
up in the
yeah.
area, played soccer in the area, got drafted by the club, worked your way up through the coaching ranks, just now being at the head coach, even on an interim basis. What does that opportunity mean to you personally?
Yeah, it's one that I'm very grateful for, one that I've worked for a long time for as a part of this club. I'm grateful for the mentors that I've had in my almost 9 years working here. I'm grateful for the people that have pushed me and mostly all the players from every level, the ones that I've worked with, over this time. But there's too many people to thank for me to go through the list. But first I represent my family, I represent Southampton, I represent the club, I represent Philadelphia, and then of course all the people in the club that I've worked with that have been great to me over the last 9 years.
yeah, so I mean, you want to talk about someone really ascending the pathway.
I mean, that is the pathway right there.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he's drafted
and
by the
just
Union
like,
in 2011. You know, he's of course he's from William Tennant. You know, he's played for LaSalle. He's done all that. Come up through the Union. You know, he played for a time at the Union, but then he comes back and coaches, and he was coaching like little guys. And you know, for instance, he's known. He told us even he coached Jordan Griffin when he was like 8. You know,
yeah.
Andrew Rick said he had him at all these different levels. When I talked to Andrew yesterday, and there's several of them that have been through that. So it's a unique perspective because he's some of these guys he's coaching now. He coached them when they were little kids, and he himself has gone on that pathway, moving up through the academy, and then as an academy coach, he had success there, and then Jim Curtin brings him on as assistant coach, and then
Hmm.
he gets the Union 2 head coach position, and then here he is with the first team as head coach, interim, and what an opportunity. But you can see how much it means to him. He's Philly. He really is.
I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah,
What were your takeaways from the presser?
yeah. So of course, there was a lot of talking about Kai. Um,
There was a lot of talk about Kai, Makanya.
Quinn Sullivan's gonna be back. He's
Yeah,
gonna be good to go. I could see him coming off the bench maybe,
yeah,
but Quinn is fully training. I saw him out there training fully.
yeah.
Looks like Stosh is back, training pretty well too, by the way. Um, and Jeremy Roffnell, Ryan Richter did say that they're all good to go basically.
Neil's got a little bit of,
Yeah, he said Neil had like a little bit of a knock, but
yeah, I mean, but also like Makanya's not there.
yeah, but other than that, like, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
we're
good to
good.
go. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I think
And
the
Dingo was there.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Dingo was there. I think actually the injury report should be out by
All
now
right,
too.
let's see.
So I know my
But
phone's gonna
anyway,
die.
anyway, they kick off tomorrow in Chester against Red Bull New York. Not New York Red Bull,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let's. We talked to Nate, and I asked him,
Mhm.
like, it's been a tough first half of the season. What did this break do to you mentally?
And by the way, yes, can confirm says none under Philadelphia Union for injuries.
And who's
Okay.
out for Red Bull?
Let's see. Red Bull. Let's see. Red Bull New York. AJ Marcucci, knee out. Rafael Mascara, thigh
Okay.
questionable. All
All
right.
right, thank you.
Yep.
Live update. There
There
you
you go.
go. So this is what Nate said about the break.
It's been really needed, mentally. It was really rough. We disappointed the fans, the club, the city itself. It's the first half of the season isn't what we represent as a club, and we never want to go back that way again, and none of the fans deserve it. But it's nice now to be able to start fresh in a way with this nice break that we had. So yeah, we're always looking forward to getting back to playing at home against Red Bull on Wednesday.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate Nate being honest there that, yeah, look, we know it's not been
Yeah.
7 points. It's been bad.
Yeah.
But I think that's what this team needed. They needed to reset.
Mhm.
Obviously, new coaches, new leadership. Obviously, Phil and Frank are still there, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have
And
the new manager bump, like Don Mattingly.
and also, you wanted to talk about the yellow card accumulation?
Yeah, so now I pulled up the caution accumulation warnings for going into this, and just to note that Danley, also Jeff Sari and Jovan, they are all one yellow card away from yellow card suspension.
So, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Anyway, also yesterday at training, you got to taste some new items. So we want to share some things. So, Jillian, this was a cool experience for you.
Yeah, so the concession they updated a few of the stands inside the concourse. There's, I believe, 2 snake bites
And
locations.
pizza.
Yeah, so Corner Pie was there already. That was
So-
new this season though, but that was one of the things they had to sample. But here's Snake Bites. That is actually just near the, it's right to the side of where like the media gate is and everything.
This is something during the break that while you and I would go
Yeah.
to, we were seeing they were working on.
Yeah, so I mean, we weren't in Subaru Park for quite a while until like recently because it was off limits during, when Ivory Coast was there. But
even during the break, there was some. No, anyway.
well, also they're also fixing the roof. They were fixing the roof yesterday
Yes,
too,
yeah.
finally. But you can see if you're watching this, you can see some of the pricing, which is, expensive.
And Union 2 pricing.
Yeah.
Union pricing.
Union pricing. I mean, it's kind of what you expect with the rest of the concessions there. And it does bug me that they spelled banh mi wrong, but anyway. I did get to sample several of the foods, but the snake bites stand, that's supposed to be kind of grab and go. And if you've ever been to the Wiswas Bank Sportsplex in the inside, they have like a grab and go kind of place
Yeah.
there, and you put your items under, there's like a camera and it like scans them.
Yeah.
And it like, that's what this place is going to have kind of like, so it's a quick thing. And you can just like scan your payment, whatever, and be off. So they had the chef, that like the Subaru Park chef there, explaining what all these things were. There was pizza and there's the banh mi, which was, I did sample this. This was pretty good. So it had, the pork in there. There's carrots and daikon, jalapenos, cilantro, mayo. I thought the cilantro really stood out. I thought it was pretty good. Like, I mean, that's something I would get.
Is it something that we go right down the road?
I mean, I'm saying if I were to go get banh mi at Pho Pasteur 3 down the road where we have, that's our favorite Vietnamese place in Lancaster.
No.
It's, I don't know if it's as good as that. I've never gotten banh mi there, but
I'd have.
Have you?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But
do you expect to get maybe the same quality? Just like there's
Yeah.
empanadas, which I love empanadas. And well, here's the barbecue pulled pork footlong hot dog. I did sample that. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good. There's what the corner pie looks like. And the pizza probably, to me, the pizza was a little underwhelming. It was okay, but like, would I spend the money on that? Probably not.
and here's the chef.
Tasty, yeah.
Really just good cheese pizza, good sausage pizza, right? We work with our partners Hatfield, where we crumble Hatfield sweet Italian sausage. It's going to be served with another partner of ours, Cento tomato product, or sorry, buzz up cento tomatoes, San Marzanas, and then it's going to be, served with some sauteed peppers and onions as well as mozzarella cheese. Okay? Right here we have some corn dip. It's a nice fresh option for your concession stands. It's going to be sort of chilled. It's a good little snack, kind of another option compared to maybe nachos or something like that might be a little heavier. Right here we have Muchos empanadas. Muchos, straight empanada. We do 3 different varieties. We've got a beef, we've got chicken, and pinto beans. Pinto beans is actually my favorite version of this. A lot of the vegan, vegetarian options you find in stadiums are kind of checking the box. This one's actually delicious, so please sample that. 3 more creations of ours right here. We have another Hatfield product. We've got Hatfield kielbasa with beer cheese, and then we topped it with some caramelized onions, and then just to keep it kind of fun, there's some pierogies on there. So we have some potato and cheddar pierogies on top of your big kielbasa sandwich, right? Here again, trying to offer a fresher option, right? In Philadelphia, it's really difficult to provide a beef sandwich that's, hearty and that isn't a cheesesteak, right? So we lean into a little bit of 2 cuisines that people, seem to love. Barbecue, of course, and then banh mi's. Banh mi's Vietnamese style sandwich. It's becoming a little more popular, and it's available at one of our snake bite locations, right? And then down here, again, leaning into the barbecue thing again. Also, with our partner Hatfield, we have a foot-long hot dog, topped with pulled pork, some house-made coleslaw, and then crunchy onions, right? So just back over.
Yeah. So I didn't sample the kielbasa because I was like, I tried a whole bunch of things at one. It was kind of full, but it actually looked really good, and I kind of regret not trying it. But I had the corn dip. That was good. Actually, it was a lot like something I make when we have potlucks. It's like my Mexican corn dip. Well, my Aunt Andrea, shout out to her. But yeah, so it was kind of like that. But yeah, I honestly I thought the hot dog was pretty good. I mean, again, these prices are a little high. I can see like
I
yeah.
can see the pushback from some of the comments on social
Yeah,
media.
I've seen the pushback from comments. I mean,
But
I
again,
was offering my perspective how the
yeah,
food tasted. Okay.
yeah.
And
Uh,
I had the
I
food was
I
tasty.
do enjoy some of the comments like, okay, what are we doing here? Are you being a show for the club, Jillian?
No, I'm just giving my opinion on how the food
Yeah,
tasted. I
exactly.
mean, I posted the prices. Y'all can make
We're not.
that what you
Nah.
will. Um, but you know, I appreciate that they're trying to offer some different things, you know?
And that's the thing, like we're not just doing everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like let's try some different things. I mean, when we say we're not trying to do everything, it's like the same thing. We got chicken sandwich, chicken wings, pizza,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Philly food. No, let's have
Yeah.
on me. Let's do some empanadas. Things that have worked well in the past. Like
Yeah. Probably my favorite thing was the empanadas. And I love empanadas. We have several
yeah,
places in
let's
Lancaster.
also boil that down. Like,
But is it as like I said,
is it as
is
good as the Uruguayan place there on Prince Street?
yeah, people in Lancaster, we've got Empanada Gourmet, Uruguayan empanada place. That's good.
Yeah.
And also Christina's Creole, which is in Lancaster Central Market. That's one of my favorite places to get empanadas, and they're big and they're really good and flavorful and um they're really cheap. So
So
yeah.
anyway, check them out if you want to. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're back tomorrow night. Philadelphia Union,
Yeah.
Red Bull New York. Uh, yeah, Red Bull. You know, 3 wins on the road this year.
They've got some young talent that's been exciting for
Jordan
them.
Hill, Mehmet. They got some great. Kate Caldwell's back. Um, they just had a good winter transfer window, and now and I'm writing an article on it right now.
Yeah.
But it's always a big matchup,
It's a rivalry.
despite the outcome.
Yeah.
Is it really rivalry? Let's see how tomorrow night goes. But
Right. They're doing a whole bunch of rivalry stuff though, that's for sure.
I mean, they're gonna burn the bull again.
They're burning like an ice sculpture apparently.
Okay.
And they're doing kind of giveaway like pom-poms or something. It's
That's nice.
yeah.
But anyway, let's hear what Richter said when
You have history facing Michael Bradley on MLS Next Pro. Just what are your thoughts on the matchup and facing him now in MLS, or for you, it's just another game?
Yeah, no, it's a game against Red Bull, and that means a lot for our club. That means a lot for the rivalry, and they're doing some really good things this year. When you watch them play, they're They're really sharp in the way that they combine centrally and the chances that they create from this. They're really aggressive in their counter pressing. They're really aggressive in the way they press from organized shape when they press negative passes. So for us, if we're loose with the ball and we're giving turnovers in the midfield, unforced errors, then we can really be punished. But at the same time, we can take advantage of some of these things if we're organized defensively and the middle's closed and there's no easy way for them to combine through. If we play the first pass deeper in transition and look to attack the space behind their back line, I think it's one that we can find a lot of success with.
You have history.
Yeah, and interestingly, of course, at one point, Ryan Richter and Michael Bradley were at Toronto FC, like at the same time, briefly. And then, of course, they were both coaching Next Pro last year. They coached against each other with their respective Next Pro teams. Now, Michael Bradley, going to the season, he got promoted to
Yeah.
the first team head coach. Now here Ryan is now first team. So it's interesting. So yeah, they know each other well, I think, at this point. And Ryan knows what to expect with Red Bull and this playing style. And it's, as he said, if they if
I
they
mean,
toss up the ball in the midfield, if they're not.
it's going to be the battle of the midfield.
Yeah.
And we saw that earlier this year in the 5-0 loss against Red Bull too. Like,
Yep.
they were sloppy, giving too much space in midfield. And what
Yep.
did Red Bull 2 do? They punched them.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's good to be back covering the match. We'll be both up in the press box tomorrow.
Yep.
But anyway, coming up, we got dual matches on Saturday night. We got
same time.
Union 2 at Chattanooga.
Yep.
Good showdown. Union's still trying to get back in that playoff picture. And then we got
first team. They're playing Seattle Sounders at home at Cedar Park.
sorry.
So gotta love when both teams are playing at the same time.
But one of us will be down Chester covering that match, and we'll both be down there tomorrow covering the match.
Yeah. So if you see us, say hi.
Yeah. And again, thank you for covering, listening to us, reading our articles, supporting us. Please share. But until next time, this has been an all new episode of One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. Keep interacting with us. We appreciate it. And we will keep having that content coming out. So thanks everyone who's been checking that out.
Yeah, and actually, believe it or not, this is episode 196.
Yeah, and
we're getting close to 200.
Yeah, and crazy fact too, I want to share as well. I just looked the other day because I was curious. We've actually put out, at the time, it's more than this now. We had 415 articles. Like we've been we've been doing this since 2024, like the articles.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I mean, well over 400 articles, pretty cool. And we're almost at 200 podcasts, so pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All right, until next time, okay?
I'm Jillian.
See you at the game.